Weezer, which is campaigning at this time, and we're gonna be back for a couple of months. So I just hate to drag this along. I just like to go forward. We already went through the procedures. We had our meetings. We have public come, we have them talk, we already have discussions. I say move forward.
Thank you. Cynthia?
I'm in favor of the motion.
Lisa? Good. I gotta put the timer on you.
And I have some other time. Okay, I'm in favor of the motion without a doubt because it's needed. And I'm also agree with our vice president, we should have more. I'm totally in agreement with security for our safety, not to let us know where they're at. Because in our community here, there are bad guys, male or female. They get a spray can, go spray the camera, and then go do their deed. And they're not gonna be, as it was said here by people, watching my house or your house. They're gonna be doing that unless your house has a reason, legal reason. You'll get a judge and a warrant and all that to put that camera on your house if something's going on that shouldn't be going on. So that's a bunch of scare tactics. But they should be not told the public where they're at. There's excellent deterrence, and because in every community you have the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? All the communities, even the multi-million-dollar homes. And they have, and they will tell their people where they're at. And the camera systems have been here longer than any of you have been born, okay? Long before any of you here were born, those cameras have already been somewhere in this city, okay? And other cities and other parts of the country. Nothing new.
Thank you, Mr. Chavez. Now we're going to go back, starting with you. Come back this way. If you will just address any concerns like the one that Michelle put out as far as wanting to table. If anybody wants to address Ruben's concern as far as not disclosing where the cameras are, then that would be your opportunity at this point. So you have 1 minute for that. Do you have
I would
anything?
like to first hear if they have a rebuttal or an agreement with whatever I said.
Excuse me, can we not have yelling out? I already laid out the rules of decorum that we're going to use, and this is the format that we're attempting today. Thank you. Mr. Chavez, do you have anything?
Can you repeat again what you just said? I wasn't.
Well, the concerns that I got were Michelle was wanting to table it so that she can go back and perhaps speak to Weezer and get,
I got it.
okay.
Okay, I think that her request is very reasonable, but the longer we prolong it,
I'm sorry, can you, hold on. Mr. Pacheco,
Well, I'm asking my representative of my area.
but we're in deliberation right now.
this isn't the time for
It's not
that.
the time.
I'll step out. I'll step out, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Chavez.
I think that her comment was very much in order, but I believe that we should get this done because there's always things that happen and may change the situation, how it looks today. It may look totally different and it will cause even more rolling it over because of new issues coming up that are pressing for us to look into. I think we ought to work with what we got, move with it, and if something else comes up, we'll deal with it at the time. I think we should roll with this now and take care of it. I don't think the councilman or any councilman is hiding anything from anyone in their constituents, whether it's a race going on or not, elections, that's irrelevant. It's just scare tactics from the opposing view of other people.
Thank you. Luisana? Cynthia?
I'm in favor of the motion, just move forward.
Victor?
She's calling you Ruben.
Go forward with it.
Okay, Michelle?
Can I do this now? Recording secretary, can you please make sure you record this for the public, that it is in the minutes and publicly, that I, by the law, the California Public Records Act request, I am requesting that Angela Duarte please provide the phone logs that she mentioned last month that she spoke to or who she made calls to CD14 office, which is the Councilman Jose Weezer's office, and the follow-up questions that she sent to the Chief of Staff, Paul Habib. And I would also like to ask June Victor Ayala. He did provide us with the Julio Torres email, thank you, but I would still like to see the email blast that he received from Jose Huizar. Did you record that? Thank you.
So to make it clear, Angela Duarte to the public records request to provide phone logs whom she spoke to at the CD14 office, and follow-up questions with Paul Habib. Also to Victor Jun Ayala, provide an email blast that was sent from Huizar's office?
Correct.
Is that? Okay.
Thank you. Gama?
No.
Yoli? Angela?
Yes,
Hold on. Let me okay, good.
it's redundant for us to ask for this information. The committee did their research. We went out, I just handed out a copy of the email that came from the chief of staff. What we're asking for is not accusing. We want to secure that our privacy is not being violated. And we want to know where the locations are. We're asking for our councilman who works for us to provide us that information. That's all. So I ask the board to please move forward on this motion so we can get some answers. We have so many other topics to discuss for this board to address, to get ourselves off of exhausted efforts and going back and forth to committee on an issue that can move forward and perhaps get clarified easily by the councilman's office. That's my question.
I would like to clarify that we're still speaking about item number 7 and not a motion to table item number 6.
There hasn't been a motion to table.
Okay, so we're just discussing the item itself.
Right.
Okay.
The actual motion.
Okay, as far as whether we should proceed on sending the letter or not, I believe 1,000% we should proceed in sending it. There is no harm in sending a letter. In fact, I think that it's a problem that that we need to go through so meticulous and be so afraid of sending a letter. Our purpose of neighborhood council is to hear the neighborhood and to act. That's one thing. But at the same time, we've had meetings for months and we're not getting anything done. We're just pushing it from one month to another month. We have to get things done. We can still do things, something as simple as send a letter, send an email that costs nothing, so we can still be effective as a neighborhood council. So 1,000% in support. Do it today. Send out a letter.
Thank you. We're ready to take a vote, and the motion that's on the table reads as it is in the agenda that LA 32 Neighborhood Council sends a letter to Councilman Huizar to provide the Neighborhood Council with his office surveillance policies, reporting process, camera locations, and if any signs have been posted, to notify the public within LA 32 of his surveillance cameras. And is there anybody who's going to be abstaining from this vote?
I'm a neighbor.
Is there any opposition to this vote? To this motion? Michelle and Ruben, you're opposing?
Yes.
Everybody else is in favor?
So, Marty, you don't think that? Abstain?
Can we change my nay to abstention, please?
Monday?
No, I want to change my nay to abstention. That's really what I intended in the first place. As you heard me, I'm for moving it, but I want to abstain.
7 yes, 1 no, 2 abstain.
7-1-2, motion passes. And I will ask that the chair of the committee, the new chair of the committee, you'll send the letter? Do you have it electronic? Angela, could you please get it to me?
I'll forward it over.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, discussion and possible action. A motion that the LA 32 Neighborhood Council send a letter to County Supervisor, used to be Gloria Molina, who oversees the Public Health Department, and request her input/impact, if any, health factors regarding City Council Motion Number 13-14193, 13-0980, and 058-001183. Original motion was presented by Councilman Weezer to legalize street vending, and this motion was approved also by the Public Safety Committee. So again, ask Victor to speak on it.
Yeah, after discussing this with my committee members, we thought it was a good idea to table this item and send it back to the Public Safety Committee so they can do a little more research on this. I know that there's going to be a change as far as the supervisors pretty soon. And so we just want to make sure that we get the correct information from the correct office. So if possible, I would like to.
Are you making a motion?
No, you know what? Mag, talk to my.
You would like Angela to address the issue?
No, because we had discussed it, but we were discussing it, we got cut off on the phone, so I just want to make sure that we're on the
Okay.
same page.
So I'll go ahead and have Angela.
I just want to ask that instead of tabling the item, that we just remove this item off of the agenda. There's a lot that's changed. It's not Gloria Molina is no longer a county supervisor. In addition to it, there's new updates in regards to this motion down at City Hall that I think it should just go back to the committee as an item to discuss and ask for more community input. So I request that this item just gets removed off of the agenda.
Well, I don't see why it has to be removed. If you want to send it back, we could just remand it back to the committee. Right?
If you're going to table it, it's going to continue on to the agenda.
No, but we won't table it. You could send it back to committee. Make a motion to remand it. Is that what you're doing?
As long as it's no longer on our agenda, we
Okay.
need to readdress it.
Ma'am, I have a comment on
Hold on, we don't have any motion on the table for you.
Yeah, but if they discuss it,
They discussed it because they were the makers of the motion.
yeah, but can we,
Not yet. If the motion's not going to be moved forward, then there's no reason to deliberate it.
so what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna just bypass it?
No, I'm not going to just bypass it. Either someone's going to move the motion on the table, or we're going to make a motion, somebody will make a motion to remand it if that's, well, that's what the creators of the motion are doing, and that's what I would support.
One of the two to get rid of it. That's what you want.
I'll make a motion to table then the item back to the committee.
I second that.
Discuss it at the
I
committee.
have third it. I'm in favor of that.
So we have a motion on the table now to remand this item back to the Public Safety Committee for research and possible resubmitting.
Updates,
Research updates and resubmit by any specific, this time pressing? Research update.
Move it, vote on, get it up to the next thing.
Okay, so we have a motion to remand it, and that was seconded by Victor. Motion was made by Angela. Is there any public comment? No public comment? Right.
There's no card, so if you wanna make a public comment, just step forward, get in line.